I heard stories, people just sleeping in a tent, somebody coming around hitting them with baseball bats.
When I was first diagnosed with schizophrenia, I told my mom I needed an exorcism because I was seeing demons around me all the time, and I felt like I was burning.
Being homeless is very difficult on people's bodies and spirit. The medical damage that's done to someone, it's not reversible.
It's all day, every day, hearing voices. Without the medication, I would be talking to the walls. I'll probably be under a bridge tonight.
My dad was abusive, alcoholic, drug addict. But I've been homeless since I was 15. So now I'm living in like a 4-man tent.
I have PTSD and anxiety real bad. If somebody comes up behind me, touches me from my back, I swing, and I ain't out here to hurt nobody. I used to be a coal miner. I lose my balance. I've been hitting the head. I'm 61 now.
And right here in Asheville-Buncombe County, on any given night, there are 500 to 600 people who are experiencing homelessness.
We don't have nearly enough shelter beds in Asheville to cover the population of homeless folks.
My first year here, I worked with a gentleman. He was asked to leave where he was currently housed with us. Because of the housing crisis in our community, we didn't have a place to move him immediately in. So there was this gap. He was gonna have to stay outside or in shelter. It was in the winter, and within a matter of a week, he was found, had frozen to death.
You know, I've seen a lot of people die outdoors. A lot of people every year.
We will work with someone, we will have them ready to go into housing, but we can't find a place. They're doing everything right, and we're doing all that we can do, but when housing doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
But see, there's a lot of elderly out here, and they live on the street because the housing authority don't have room for them.
Housing authority is trying the best they can. The reality is that there is not enough of their units to house the population that's in demand. You can put in applications to get into income-based rentals around here, but the wait lists are 2 years long.
You know, I think the first step is to get people to actually agree on what it is they want to do about homelessness, that we actually want to solve it rather than just push people out to the edges where we don't have to see them anymore.
We didn't sign on to Medicaid expansion, so we have a lot of people who don't have health care, who don't have health coverage, which means big hospital bills, big doctor bills. If you're not doing well health-wise and you rack up $500 in a month, if you don't pay that $500, the doctor's not going to let you come back.
I've had to call 911 for gout because I couldn't get to the hospital. You know, and that's something that's not a life-threatening emergency. You know, I just had gout. I could not walk, and I had to get to the hospital, and I had to call 911 because I didn't have another resource to get there.
What I think Homeward Bound is, and what we do differently than other agencies in our community, is we're all about relationships. Everything we do is about figuring out what that person needs at that time.
To end homelessness, we use a model called Housing First.
And then we're also offering them long-term case management. So the case management piece is really key.
And our goal, of course, is to get every person who comes into AHOPE into permanent housing.
AHOPE specifically, like our main deal is to create like a welcoming space for folks who might not have that outside of the day center.
It is the place where people can come every day and find respite. They can find access to services such as their case managers. They can make phone calls. They can come and get a cup of coffee, or they can fellowship with others who are experiencing the same walk in life.
We have between 175 and 200 people coming into AHOPE every day. We have 5 or 6 staff. We have a handful of volunteers, which are just vital to what we do. But the challenge of engaging that many people is always difficult.
The Woodfin Project is a permanent supportive housing apartment complex. We have 18 clients who are currently living there, and it has 24-hour, 7 days a week service and security. We have on-site case management.
And us being on site and us being really the landlord here allows us to work with clients on a closer basis.
We have people here in the Woodfin Project that's part of permanent supportive housing who our community looked at and basically said they're never going to make it in housing. They'll always be homeless. And we've been able to show with this project that with ongoing case management and support, these folks are thriving in housing and they are surviving in housing and they're not going back into homelessness.
Most of the folks that are in here, for a long time, they've just needed a door that locked to help them start to kind of come out of that crisis from being homeless. And they now have it, which they could have never had before.
I think what makes Homeward Bound so unique in our community is that we have no barriers to housing, no barriers to services. We welcome all. We believe that housing is a human right, and we are not going to say, if you jump through this hoop, we'll give you services, or if you meet this particular requirement, you will deserve housing. Again, we believe that it's a human right.
And we're working people, whether they have jobs or not, or whether they have family or not, whether they have income or not. So we're trying to be as low barrier as possible.
Because we believe in the absolute value and worth of every human being. We have chosen to be the agency that says, yes, we will not leave anyone behind. We will not leave anyone outside. As long as someone's sleeping outside, we will continue to work to end homelessness.
At the end of the day, I'm able to see that we're making a difference in people's lives. And I am firsthand watching people's lives change for the better.
Just that relief of knowing and seeing people's hope come back into their eyes when they are offered a place, that's the most rewarding thing.
What I do see, and what I have seen, I see it every day, is actual individual people experiencing homelessness that are no longer homeless. People that are experiencing mental illness and suffering from the effects of that mental illness, no longer suffering from those effects to the same degree. People that are living with addiction, getting into recovery. I see that every single day, and so absolutely there's success. Absolutely, Homeward Bound makes differences in people's lives that are unquantifiable.
I do believe that homelessness is a solvable issue, 100%. It's real easy. Get folks into housing, provide them support they need, and you end homelessness. And that's what we do.
AHOPE is a success story every day because it literally saves lives. They know they can come there every day and they will be treated with dignity and respect. And that is really, really important.
We do need resources. We need more financial support. We need more political support. We need more hands-on support.
The resources are limited. We certainly don't have enough staff at AHOPE, but the bigger problem is that we don't have enough housing.
Generally, we tend to talk as if the people, who work downtown and live in apartments downtown are the community, and the community needs to figure out what to do about these other people that are on the streets, when in fact, we're all just one community.
I think as a community, we all have to really believe in the value of each individual and that we want people to have housing because it's a basic human right.
We have the know-how to end homelessness. We have a model Housing First, which we know works. There are the resources here in this community. All we need is the will to do it.